Hello everyone, this is DA from E Academy, and this is the official start of our project-based learning into the world of data analysis. We'll start it by using statistical analysis. And why statistical analysis? Because we know that the base of data analysis is actually statistical analysis, and we can also say that it's statistics. So if you build up a strong thing, then obviously its base also should be strong. Okay, so let's jump into the problem of the project. So the problem of the project is how to see if the policy is data driven. Well, it's a very generic problem or statement. If we have to specify it for our project, so the policy, the word policy here, for example, we specify it for the admission policy, and the admission policy, we're saying it for any school, college, or university. And in that policy, obviously there are some variables and there are certain weights. For example, in a certain college, the admission policy takes three variables. In a simplest possible case, the first thing that is pretty obvious is the previous education and the previous scores that we have. The second is the admission test, and the third is interview. Obviously these three things has some weights assigned to them, and that is very common in every admission policy. uh, in a hypothetical case, for example, the previous scores, the previous education system has 25% of weightage. The admission test for that college, let's say it has 50% of the weightage, and the interview has 25% of the weightage. Why 25, 15, 25? Because eventually we have to get 100% of the total weights. And there are now three independent variables and one dependent variable that is pretty obvious here is the status of the student. For example, if the student or the candidate is admitted in a particular college is or the status is not admitted. Plus, due to weights assigned, then there is also variable of, let's say, merit score out of 100 because of the weights assigned to them. So let's take a clear picture of the variables. Here we are with three independent variables, and all of these three variables are actually numerical variables and are continuous variables. And when we're talking about the dependent variables, the status here is a categorical variable, and there are two categories, so we can also say that it's a binary categorical variable. And the next dependent variable, that is merit, uh, it's a continuous numerical variable. Okay, so we have three independent variables, two dependent variables. So far we have specified the term policy and the variables that are in that policy. And if we get back to the problem statement, we have defined the policy, but what is meant by data driven? We can check it by running analysis on admission data. Of course, we don't have a real data here, but we'll try to come up with some data to see how we can run our analysis. Um, in the next video, we will see how we can create a fake data, or we can say come up with a data that so we can run our analysis or our model on that data to see if it is working on that data. Okay, uh, obviously you can alter and manipulate this model or this thing according to the data that you have. So in the next video, we'll try to generate data for this analysis. See you in the next video.